Wet n Wild Barbie. So we have a Water Play Ken here. Sisters Fun Day Rock Concert Barbie. She came with Skipper, but Skipper is not part of the sale. This is 1989 Animal Lovin' Barbie. So this lovely lady here is Rollerblade Barbie. This is a 2018 Dreamtopia Chelsea. She came in a pack with Auto. Auto is not included. This is an original 1985 Data Night Barbie. 1989 Garden Party Barbie. Welcome to CATtheMinion YouTube channel. My name is Teresa, but you can call me Cat. This is a little art video. You can also use this information for working on dolls, which is what I used it for. So I have a generic hair elastic from the store. I just grabbed a pink one because whatever. This is a rubber band that's covered in fabric. There's also silicone bands like this that would probably work fine. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a little tutu or perhaps a scrunchie, depending on what you want. I have this big honkin' roll of tulle that I got when I did my my size Barbie, and I'm just gonna cut a length of it, maybe like 8 inches or so. I'm not really measuring it. I got the fabric scissors, and I'm just cutting a strip from the bolt of fabric. And it's a little skinnier on the end, but that's fine. So I don't want these to be like super wide necessarily, so I'm just kind of going in there. They're not all exactly the same length, but I can trim it after. And it actually takes a lot of these to finish the tutu, but that's fine. So I want to point out that I learned how to do this from watching Graveyard Loon channel on YouTube. He does fun art projects that are sort of spoopy, like cute and spooky. Like, I don't want to say baby goth because that's probably insulting, but he does fun little projects that are in like the cutest horror you've ever seen. So watch his channel. I don't think he knows me, but I watch his channel a lot because it's entertaining and funny. And this is how I learned how to do this. You know, I was today years old when I learned how to do it. So, elastic band, and just take a strip of the stuff, and I'm gonna pull it through the middle so that it's, hanging, and just sort of try to even out the ends a little bit so it's not that bad. And I'm just gonna give it one single little shoelace kind of tie here. Or I'm not double knotting it either, just once is pretty good because it sticks pretty hard to the elastic. Try to get that where it's focused. Okay? And then just do that like 40 more times. So I'll do a couple more. I don't know if I want to make a whole nother one. I need to get enough on here just to like show you how I trimmed it after, because I have one that's done. Ideally they wouldn't all be white because I have like a million yards of white. With tulle, what you can do is, even with acrylic paint, if you thin it down, you can do whatever color you want. Just spread it out on a piece of plastic so it doesn't like stick to it, and then just brush the paint on, and it'll stay on, fairly nicely without getting too goopy. It might be a little bit crispy, but it worked fine because I painted the little glove ruffles that I made out of this tulle for my Madeline Hatter doll that I redid, and it's fine on her, so it should be fine on this too. And you can see I'm just doing a bunch of these. It takes a while, but in the end it doesn't really take that long. Like, it might take like a half an hour. See, it's getting poofy. I mean, if you don't want it to be like super puffy, then like don't jam them all close together. So you see there's a little bit of space. So if I wanted it thicker, I could push them together more. I'm going to spread them out a little bit because I don't want it to be as dense. Because I'm trying to do this quickly. So I'll probably just use what I've got cut so far and spread them out and make it like a limp ring instead of a stiff ring. That sounds awful. This is also kind of hurting my arm right now because I'm dead from shoveling because we had a blizzard. See, that one's a little bit shorter, and that may or may not matter. It depends how long you want it. If you want like a little short ruffle, then obviously like cut your width shorter. This is just a quick how I've done it, how I've seen other people do it. And you might be like, oh, well, isn't it going to look raggy? And not really. I mean, you can be more exact on the cutting. Like, mine are sort of shreddy because I don't really give a shit, but it'll be fine. So if you don't want, like, little raggy bits, then take more time than, like, 2 seconds cutting your pieces. You could also shape these. You could make them, like, intentionally, like, you could take one and sort of intentionally cut it into a petal shape. And then you could have like 40 little, see, that's sort of half-acidly petal shaped. You could do like that on the pieces if you wanted to. They're sticking together like any good team should. My shoulder hurts too. Why am I leaning so hard on my left elbow? Okay. I have not done any mental health breaks in like a month and a half because I needed my own break, but I haven't really had one. I've been trying to deal with the businessy side of my business, which is, you know, I've got like, it's like when you, like, if you're neurodivergent or whatever, ADD, whatever you've got, you go to clean your room because it's a mess, and then you start going through everything in detail, so now you just have like 14 messes instead of one. That's what I'm doing with my business right now. It's basically a reorganization, so that's why I don't have any mental health break videos, but this is the kind of stuff that I would be doing on those live streams if I was doing them right now. I'm going to go back to them and do some more, but in the meantime, you can have this pre-recorded video of me tying stuff to this hair tie. I did find that when I went to put this on my Barbie, that because I probably from pulling it, even though it was a brand new elastic, that it was a little bigger than I wanted to be, so I just kind of went like that with it and pulled it tight on the end so it wasn't as big. And it worked fine because it's in the back and you can't see it. And after I did that on the doll that I wanted it on, I was like, oh my god, I should go back and do this with the dolls that have the poofy dresses that aren't poofing. Like just make like a whole hoop skirt out of this style of tulle tutu situation. So you could take like my goth holiday Barbie, because her dress is kind of flat in one, like in parts where I don't want it to be flat. I want it to be puffier. So what I want to do is get something like this around her legs, and then the dress will poof out where I want it to poof out. So let me just spread these out a little more so it looks more like a circle than a cluster. So I only put about a half to a third of how many of these you'd probably want on this. And I figured out that the easiest way to trim it was to lay it flat. So I'm pulling all the fabric that was sticking into the inside of the ring to the outside. And then I can just take the scissors and chop it like so. And then I don't have to figure out, there goes my throat again. I don't have to figure out the lengths. It might not be perfectly even. Again, this is not like a turbo perfect job. If you wanted it to be even, you could take a bowl and give it your tutu a bowl cut. Or like pre-measure it. Okay, so here is a really basic one. Actually, maybe I'll use this as an example. Let me get my goth Barbie and see how that works. Alright, so here she is. She's wearing the 1998 Happy Holidays Barbie dress, but it came with tattered sleeves, and now she looks perfect. So I can't get the camera any further off the table, but you can see that her dress is kind of flat here. Get her arms up out of the way. And I have this pinned down. I should move that. Okay. So what I have under here previously are a bunch of... Let me get my hand out of the way. Hold on. I mess up her hair too much. I have a bunch of circles that I cut out of the tulle in different sizes to try to make it puffy. And I've got her legs held onto the stand with a piece of paper towel tube because she's too tall for the stand. And that was my way of keeping her on there. So I'm going to take her off of the stand, which is dusty. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to run this up here over her hips. Alright, so now I'm going to put her back down now that I stuffed that thing we just made up there. And voila! Now she has puffy dress instead of a flat dress. So let's just spin that a little bit. Oh, it really looks more full in the back, which is also dusty because she's too tall now to go in the cases. There we go. This is from Jewel Secrets Whitney. I messed up her hair too much because it took a lot of effort to get it into that position. Let's just let her hair be dusty. Okay, so that works pretty good for that, for like 5 minutes of effort. And if I wanted it to be even puffier, I could go in and add more, I could add some more strings of fabric to it. So let me, why does that look blurry? Okay, there. So I could add more strings of fabric to that and it would puff it out a little more. In fact, I might want it to bring it down a little bit. And you can see as I bring that down that the skirt goes flatter. So it's kind of like a bustle, I guess, for this doll. And really gets that skirt out where it needs to be. That looks a lot better like that. So the one that I made, which is why I made this video, so I could show you how to make one. Alright, so this doll has made an appearance in the Art Stuff and Adventures with Plastic Crack a couple of times. I've been working on her for a while. I rebodied her, and then I redid her eye paint. And I put her in this outfit because it matched her hair. This was given to me with a lot of stuff about a year ago, a little over a year ago. And I just found out this week that this is a 1988 Fashion Finds dress. It was like a simple cardboard and cellophane situation with just the dress in it. And I gave her some yellow pilgrim shoes that are probably left over from the 70s because that matches the streak in her hair. And I love this. She just needed a ruffle, and lo and behold, the white matches the white lace rosette there. So you can see that this tutu has a lot more fabric bits in it, and it's on like a turquoise elastic, and I've just knotted it in the back a little bit because it was a little bit too big a diameter for her thighs there, and now it fits decently at the bottom of her dress, and it kind of blends in with the dress color. So this is what I did with that new skill that I learned. And I really like the way it looks. Again, it's a little bit messy, but I kind of like the chaos. It makes it look a little bit organic. And it's really fluffy. It gives the dress the oomph it needs to not just be a boring, cheap-looking, raggy old ruched thing. Really vibrant, really pops, and I love it. It's just simple, basic color combination. And again, I could have painted a bunch of this to be blue or yellow, but I really like it just with the plain white. So you can use it like this as an actual thing, or you can use it as undergarment, like with this one. Both Latina dolls both have blue hair, and both now have puffy tutu. So that's it. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, comment, check out my playlists tab, check out my link tree, linktr.ee/CATtheMinion.